If you attempt to open the door, consequences will arise. That's a phrase from a photo hidden within a world that technically breaks reality, as the source of the world is unknown and the entity behind its weight can never be named. About a week ago, an old friend sent me a Minecraft world file people had been quietly passing around online. It was called The Outer Rim. Every post mentioning it had been deleted within hours. He said he was able to snag a download of it before it vanished completely, and told me I should load it up myself and check it out. I was trapped in a small bedrock room where there were only 3 things: a button, a chest, and a sign that read "Take 1 and read." When I opened the world, something felt wrong immediately. Settings were locked, and I was stuck in adventure from the start and couldn't do anything to change that. So I decided to ask him directly. His reply was, "Just play the game." Cold, as if I've asked him multiple times before. Take 1 and read. Okay, and there's a button. And a soul lantern. Rules. The iron room must remain sealed. What does... Nothing after that, just... The iron room must remain sealed. That was the only rule written in this book. Rule 1. The iron room must remain sealed. It felt wrong, but clearly this place seemed to be some kind of SMP server just based off of this spawn room by itself. And servers always have more than one rule, which struck me odd. However, I decided to ignore this and decided to press the button. The button teleported me to a welcome message, like any other server. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna heavily lean on the this was a ripped world. What is up with the Soul Land? Okay, a welcome board. Hello, welcome to the Outer Rim SMP. Yeah, so this is an SMP world, or at least it used to be, I would assume, a server. Please follow our rules given to you upon spawning in. They may seem confusing, but these rules help us from keeping the server from going into complete NSLZD. What does that even mean? Please remember these three rules in your rule book and make sure to sign it, as if you lose your rule book, it is an immediate ban. Okay, so 3 rules. We have 1 rule. We literally have 1 rule. I'm gonna sign this because, you know, gotta follow the rules. Remember rule 3 and rule 1. They are the most important. So rule 1, Rule 1, the iron room must remain sealed. So there's some type of iron room that must remain sealed. Okay. Enjoy your time on the server. All right. And there's a house. I still can't mine anything, so we're stuck in adventure, but look at this. Again with the soul lanterns. Community house. So this is like the spawn area, basically. Everything in this welcome message felt weird. 3 rules, but we only have 1. Rules 1 and 3 being the most important, and 1 word out of every single word being complete gibberish. First off, who edited the rulebook? Why erase only certain rules? And why remove and rewrite or hide them? That's when I noticed the house. This room is enticing me right now. Again with the soul lanterns. Okay. So this seems to be like, we need something to put in here. That's for sure. Something for sure needs to be put in there. It looked too clean, empty, dimly lit with soul lanterns. The soul lanterns is what caught me off guard. Why is there a constant use of soul lanterns? Why not a torch or a regular lantern? It's almost as if the house isn't meant to be lived in. I started off with exploring the first floor. I found 2 rooms, the disposal room and the bookshelf room. In the disposal room was bookshelves and a chest. In the chest were 3 axes and 3 diamonds, as if they were placed there deliberately, with a sign pointing towards a carpet on the floor. In the bookshelf room, it was almost completely empty. No books, no nothing except for 1 book dead center. I can see why this is called the bookshelf room. Book and quill. Okay, let's see what this has. The words were incomplete gibberish. But then it hit me. This is one of two things. This is either complete gibberish, which I highly doubt, or this is a cipher. A Caesar cipher, to be specific. I'm gonna throw this into a decoder and see what it gives us. All right, I'm gonna put it right here. This is what I got from the Caesar cipher. 6 axes, 6 diamonds, find them around the house or around the lot. Good luck. Okay. I also took the liberty of decoding the word from the message board, and it translated to chaos. Why was chaos the only word scrambled in the welcome message? Why does this place care so much about numbers? 6 axes and 6 diamonds. What secrets are behind the iron door? And also, what are the original rules? That explains what we found in the disposal room. 3 diamonds and 3 axes. We have half of the puzzle. That's 6 items. We have half of the puzzle. But where do we go to find the rest? I mean, there's no chests. Oh wait, there was a chest. Was there not a chest in here? But there's nothing in the chest. I made my way to the 2nd floor of the house. The first thing I noticed was the signs above each of the doorways for the rooms on the 2nd floor. The symbols on them were weird. I didn't recognize them. They hinted towards another form of language or text that was probably used within the server that this world came from. There was a staircase just before the hall. Though before checking out the staircase, I went into each of the rooms. Each room had item frames with items in it, though I paid no attention to it. I swiftly made my way back towards the attic. The attic was packed with books and bookshelves. Each single one of these books was empty, except for one. Except for this one. Okay. There is literally nothing there. Inside was coordinates. These coordinates led me to a lava pool just outside of the house. $186. Okay, I mean, this is the area that we need to be in. When I got there, there was nothing. I searched around and found absolutely nothing. No chest, no structures, no hidden signs, nothing that could lead me to the clues that this book was giving me. So I decided to head back to the house. And then it dawned on me, the items inside of the rooms, they weren't just decorations. They were definitely there for a reason. The rooms at the house. The items in the frames. What if they lead more to something? I took the items and put them in my inventory. Let's spell this out. Okay? So we have a lingering potion, oak leaves, oak saplings, ocelot egg, prismarine stairs, and rod, andesite, acacia log, lime, and lime wool, and vines. I decided to take the first letter from each single one of them. It didn't mean anything at first, but then I remembered repetition matters. So we have a lot of duplicate items, 3 oak saplings, 2 end rods, and 3 prismarine stairs. I decided to treat it like an old numpad. Doing that changed the sequence, and this is the sequence that you get. When rearranged, you get the message, "Look in lava." That's when it started to click. I didn't check if there was anything buried in it. I rushed back to the lava pool and found this. Here, this is 1 block off from here. Huh. Okay, we got it. We need another book. We need 2 more axes and another diamond. A chest buried inside at the exact coordinates given to me from the book. And in the chest was another book with 1 axe and 2 diamonds. The book also gave me another set of coordinates and a 4th rule. Why was I getting another rule? There should only be 3 rules according to the welcome message. So why is there a 4th rule? What does it mean by counting by the dream? And this could open a plethora of rabbit holes. What are the numbers referring to? Could this be the repeating numbers coming from these puzzles? And how many rules were there originally? The new coordinates led me to another lava pool, farther out. However, this one looked like it was tampered with, as if someone wasn't able to finish doing what they were doing. I don't trust this. I feel like somebody has been here. Like, if this makes any sense, this looks like it was just tampered. They knew I was coming and... I'm on a single player world. This is a single player world. I'm pressing tab and... yeah. I don't want to jump in. I don't want to jump in. Is there anything over here? Ah. Okay. We got the last 2 axes. However, just like the last lava pool, there was a chest hidden directly in the center of the lava, and inside were the remaining materials needed for the puzzle, and another book left for us to keep. This one was special. It was titled Alphabet, and inside was the strange symbols that we saw above the doors on the 2nd floor. These symbols weren't just random. They were tied to a different language, an entire alphabet system used in a visual way to communicate without naming or stating anything directly. Whatever this world is, whatever is being kept here, the alphabet system seems to play an important role in all of it. With this in mind, I rushed back to decode the symbols upstairs and finish the disposal room puzzle. Sleep, fracture. Okay, we have a notes part on this too. So sleep, fracture, that's ET. Loop, observer, fracture, OST. Is this supposed, like, what are we decoding on this? Loop, observer, observer. Et ost asos. And you know what? I should also keep track of the rules that we have. Rule 1 and rule 4. The fact that we have a 4th rule is insane. That means that there might be more rules than what's being shown on this server. So someone really tampered with the rules. Who tampered with the rules? That's the question. What's the point of this rule system too? It seems really weird not being able to access a certain room and then count what the dream counts. Dream, could it be talking about the core? When we look at this though, et ost asos, what sleep, fracture. I can't put it to thought. Is that what this alphabet system is supposed to be? It's just is it like oversimplification of certain thoughts? OST, loop, observer, fracture. End? But wouldn't that be D? Et ost asos. It ends soon. I'm gonna assume. I'm gonna assume that's the translation for this. I say we keep all the books on us, but we have to name them what they are. The sound of a piston door opening. Not far. At first I thought it was the iron room. The piston door came from somewhere else. It came from the bookshelf room. Underneath the redstone torch was a piston door, and underneath that was a chest. Inside the chest were 2 items, another book and Rule 3. Rule 3, the world repeats on purpose. What? And another book. Okay. Again, keeping track of the rules. We found Rule 3. The world repeats on purpose. I just got chills. That's the symbol of death or end. 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 And it's symbolic. We have 6 pages. Okay, we're gonna recap this. 6 pages. We just got a book. 6 pages. What is the significance of this repeating 6? Time is irrelevant here. Granger isn't who she says she is. Whatever you do, leave while you still can. There used to be 6 of them. Now there's only this house and whatever she's after. Granger? What? Rule 3 read that the world repeats on purpose. What could this mean? What is it talking about? Day and night cycles, respawning, chunks, reloading, or something even worse? Repetition isn't a bug. Is this world some type of containment for an entity that we don't know the name of? Is the iron door really something we shouldn't be tampering with? So many questions I just want the answers to. Why is there another Granger? So many possibilities. Where does this rabbit hole lead? Okay. What is even going on? I know Granger. Granger is one of my one of my oldest friends. Granger is a guy. This has to be a different Granger. Either that or my memory is warped, which it's not. I know for a fact this is a different Granger that they're talking about, that this book is talking about. Time is irrelevant. Time is irrelevant. Time is irrelevant here. What does that mean? As I continued to spiral with question after question, we've checked every single room in this house except for one. The room that slipped my mind finally came back into thought. The library. Why did we even ignore this room in the first place? We haven't checked the library, have we? This is the only room that's boarded up. Oh god. Not this again. Just like the attic, there were packed bookshelves with empty books, except for one wall with 6 redstone torches. Again, repeating the number 6, but one bookshelf had only one book in it. And this book changes everything from here on out. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 these, and one. I would argue this is on this wall. This is the only bookshelf with a book on it that I can take out. Coordinates and another Caesar cipher, another puzzle. After shifting it, this is what it says. Where 2 trees lie, cut off by leaves, lie a hidden system for you in your wake. This book gives us coordinates and another cipher. This is where it leads us. This can't be natural. I mean, there's this, but this can't be natural. Upon arriving to the coordinates given to us by the book, we noticed the trees and how the leaves are cut off exactly like the book explained. They were like as if the chunk that the leaves were in disappeared and were somehow replaced with a completely different chunk. This sparked me to look around, and at first, I didn't notice anything until I started checking around the trees. That's when I found a button hidden underneath one of the trees. There's a button down there. Okay. Hey, not that. I mean, that is cut off. Where's the other one? Aha. As I dropped down, I found out that this was an underground sewer system. Well, at least it was supposed to be. It seemed unfinished. Taking a look at one of the 4 directions that we could have gone in, one of the tunnels was completely unfinished. However, when I checked down one of the tunnels, I found a slim corridor. This was not just a sewer system. This was a maze. And at first, this corridor seemed pretty simple. Don't tell me this is a complete maze. Oh, man. So this is the system they're talking about. A sewer system that leads into a maze. And on the other end was also 2 more slim corridors. These corridors also were mazes, one harder than the other. However, one of them led me to a little area with a sign. Another one of these ciphers. Let's see. E-D-E-L. Writing this down. E-L-O-O-E-L-O-O-E-N-D. That's clearly N. We're gonna start spacing that. All right. S. That's another S. O-O-N. Te-lu ends soon. The loop ends soon. Te-lu. Okay. D-E. Fracture sleep. Right? L-O-O. Memory. Loop. I don't like where this is going. The loop ends soon. Your loop ends soon. Your loop ends soon. I felt threatened, as if I'm being warned. If I continue searching for whatever it is that I need to open this door, I'm going to die. I feel like I'm getting closer to a truth that I'm not supposed to know. Maybe the lanterns, maybe this thing with the time, with loops, maybe it has something to do with us. Your loop. Could this mean your time ends soon? Another corridor from there led to a smaller room. And in this room was a chest with a book in it. This book wasn't just a regular book, like all the other books that we found. There was no riddle, there was no puzzle. It was a journal from another player. Hello, I'm Asher. I don't know what loop you're on, but for you to find this means you've been here a while. Time is irrelevant here. That's why the soul lanterns are everywhere, and probably why you found my journal. They help with preventing the loop from resetting everything, including chunks, inventory, and memory. I forgot who discovered the use of the lanterns, but thanks to them, it made things a lot easier. Though we don't know the source of these memory loss issues, we made an alphabet system to prevent further issues. Someone on here, known as Granger, keeps coming around whenever we mention... I can't remember. It's best I don't say. Could that be what's being kept in containment here? I'm assuming. I'm gonna chunk up that this world is not a world. It's more of like a containment. That's what it feels like. Like, you don't want something to be opened at all. The soul lanterns are being used to prevent certain things from repeating. That's why it's written all over the house. As if it's containing something. These soul lanterns. Preventing the chunks in the house from resetting. The iron sealed room. Let's assume that if the world repeats, the chunks reset. That's probably why the trees that we saw, their leaves were cut off. They used to consistently reset before the soul lantern. I don't want to end up like the others, but he keeps mentioning something about individual loops. I don't know what these loops are, but once they are slain by him, they are gone for good. However, he keeps this server in order, prevents chaos, and so far it's been fun. Not knowing what this source they talk about scares me, and as far as anyone else knows, the admins of the server have been talking about a new function system. All 6 of them have talked about a new 6-step rule system that beats this 3-step process they have right now. Something seems off. What is this constant repetition of 6 though? There are 6 rules. There were 6 admin. There were 6 items that we had to collect. It was 6 diamonds and it was 6 axes. There were 6 redstone torches. By now, the repetition of 6 doesn't feel random. There are 2 definitions of 6: numerology and biblical. In numerology, 6 symbolizes the caregiver, which is linked to family, home, and community. Funny because we got a majority of our puzzles from the community home. Biblically, 6 symbolizes humanity, imperfection, and worldly effort. In the Bible, we were created on the 6th day, falling short of the divine perfection of the 7th. It also represents the ultimate human failure without God, but also points to God's grace for imperfect humanity. Our assumptions about this world being some type of containment was correct. However, it is not for a person or for any normal entity. Whatever entity this is, it's considered a divine entity. Basically, to other people, it's a god. Something here has that type of power that it would be put into a constant loop, or maybe its own power used against it. Whatever it is, I need to know who or what is being kept behind those iron doors. I made my way back and decided to take the route that went farther down. I noticed I decided to reach Deep Slate, and as I continued to explore, I found myself going even farther. Another cipher. For sure, we know this means to know is to. So to know is to what? AE. We chucked this up earlier. This alphabet system is basically a very simplified, just like thought over simplified. If we're thinking this through, basically, whatever we look or however we look at this, they're taking out letters from these symbols, right? Or basically they're taking letters out from the words if it's already not in the alphabet. So H got taken out, P got taken out. So A could be to know is to wake, but to wake what? The Deep Slate level of the sewers was just a gigantic, massive maze. Corridors upon corridors of tunnels that I had to traverse alone. And there it was, a staircase that led to a lower portion of the maze, and hidden in this lower part was another bookshelf with a book placed directly in the center of it. In the book was 3 things. Rule 6, do not seek completion. An alphabet encoded message that translates to end is to know, and to know is to awaken. And a warning, beware of the ones who seek. What is it that it's talking about when it comes to awaken? To know is to awaken. To know what? Could it be the name of this divine entity? I continued on with exploring the rest of the maze, and eventually I found a button on the wall. Something within the maze opened, so I quickly backtracked towards the stairs that we came from and started searching the maze to see if anything had changed. Eventually, I noticed a corridor that wasn't there before, primarily the green vines that stuck out like a sore thumb. And as I walked down the corridor, I found another button. And once I pressed it, the corridor behind me closed, and I was trapped within here. I took the corridor down, and it led me into a grand room. On the other end of the room was a tunnel, and in the middle of the tunnel was a light. What is this place? As I reached the end of the room, there stood two things, a chest and a button. In the chest were two books. One book contained a bunch of pages with a bunch of ones and zeros. But these aren't just random ones and zeros, they are binary. This code could decode into anything. It can decode into a link, it can decode into a message, or it can decode into a phrase. Putting it through the decoder, I got a message. And this message read, 6 processes, 6 restraints, 6 ways to keep it asleep. What once took many to dance, play, and contain, now take function, puzzles, riddles, and rhymes. It kind of stuck with me. All of the stuff that we've been doing, the puzzles, decoding messages, which were basically riddles that also turned into rhymes, the Caesar ciphers, all of it was just unraveling this containment that this world poses as, according to this message. They don't want whatever is being kept here to wake up. In the second book gives us an image. This image is of a journal, and in this journal page are 2 photos with me and another person in it. I don't know who this person is, however their face looks familiar, but the main point of this should be the background. Both of the photos are very familiar. One is in front of the lava pool from the first puzzle, and another one is in front of the house, specifically next to the welcome message. One thing to notice is the lantern. It's not a soul lantern. It's a regular lantern. This could probably be why I don't remember this person. Could this have been an admin? Could this have been Asher? Or could this have been who the other Granger is? I don't know. Clearly, I have some tie to this world, seeing that I have been on here before the discovery of the lanterns. And Asher said that somebody had to have discovered the use of these lanterns. So if I have been on this world or server before, when? And how many times have I been on it? And how have I been on it? I have no recollection of this world. So what is the history between me and this world? Who are these people to me? And what is the bigger picture here? We're given a set of text. Remember all 6 rules. They prevent the source from waking. Waking means completion, and completion means collapse. If you get stuck, continue the loop. This seems like something that you would give an admin, somebody that you trust, as if you were passing down from admin to admin. Or am I making assumptions too irrationally? If you attempt to open the door, consequences will arise. I want to know what's behind that door. At the bottom of the page, there are coordinates. Coordinates that lead far past the lava pool. Now the only question is, how do we get out of the sewer system? What does the button do? I followed the coordinates, and the coordinates led me to a sunken ship just off the shore of a dark oak forest. Inside the boat was a chest, followed by 2 soul lanterns. Symbolic is what I thought. And upon opening the chest, we see items, paper. But hidden amongst them was the key card and rule number 5. Rule number 5 kind of stuck out to me. Sound binds the core. There was no sounds in here, no music, nothing but the ambience from the animals. The admins were charged with keeping the core asleep. I had a bad feeling about opening this iron door. My greed was too strong to resist. I rushed back to the house and opened the door.